Robot's world takeover genuinely needs to be studied, bro. The way he flawlessly took over an entire world with minimal effort was crazy. So, as we all know, Mark just had his encounter with Anissa, and after that, he headed to the Pentagon, because remember, he just came back from being trapped in another dimension for 6-7 months. He's trying to tell Cecil what's about to happen, but bro did not believe him. And at this point in time, I don't really blame him. Robot never seemed like a looming threat before all of this, but he should have trusted Mark. But it ended up being Rudy who made the first move. At first, he tried trolling. He was genuinely rage-baiting Mark. "Mark, is that you? I thought you died."
Really, nigga?
Mark told him to surrender for his BS, and he was like, "Surrender? For what?" Took Rex's body and unlocked his rage-baiting abilities too. But Cecil has seen enough. In his eyes, Robot has been acting suspicious for quite a while now, and they need to have a talk. But Rudy was in no mood for a convo. Instead, he proceeded to incapacitate Mark and slime Cecil out for no reason, and he stomped on his head too. That you'd think that he'd move this way versus the ops or something, but no, he's slamming out one of his biggest supporters for the love of the game, FLG, saying some, "You should know, I feel tremendous remorse over this," he says after treating Cecil's head like he's in Stomp the Yard. Mark was so pissed that he was moving through the pain, ended up taking out Robot. This was impressive, and Robot really be pissing me off, because how are you gonna kill the leader of the Pentagon and say, "You're the problem"? Like, hello? Told Mark to meet him at his crib, and he wasted no time pulling up. Can't even lie. The all-black suit goes unbelievably hard. Shit's low-key overpowered too. It got that Meliodas full counter installed in the suit, so the harder Mark hits him, the more damage he takes. But still, he had no reason to do Eve like this for real. Catching bodies on pregnant women? Come on, bro. Shout out to Eve though. She was moving through the pain too. Crushed Robot's head light work, but he was still moving. Damn near blew them up. And he swears he's doing all this for the greater good of the world. But Mark and Eve were able to escape to the Viltrumites base on the moon, mostly thanks to Eve. And even though this was definitely one of the worst days of his life, Mark was able to enjoy the birth of his daughter, Tara. While Mark deals with his own problems, Robot continues his takeover, starting out by switching up on his day ones. He just like me for real. Still crazy to me how the first person he took off the map was a black man. Black Samson too, bro. He was just doing his job, giving out haircuts, and even said that he rocked with a new fit. And what does Rudy do? He gives bro the Gojo treatment. That poor dog down here is most definitely traumatized. Could've let this guy walk free too, but nah. Every black man getting taken out today. He was going after everyone. Nobody was safe from his wrath, not even Shapesmith. This one hurt me. But to understand why Rudy's doing all this, we gotta go back a bit. You see, Rudy ended up taking a little trip to the Flaxen Empire, along with Monster Girl, trying to get rid of them once and for all. Only that little trip didn't last 7 years like it looked, but 700. In that time, he basically took over the Flaxen world, got a big head, and now he feels like he can take over the earth the same way. Not even his own girlfriend was safe from his tyranny. And damn, Monster Girl looking fine as hell now that she grown. Huh? No wonder Bulletproof was out here pre-ordering. You know Rudy isn't human because of stuff like this. If I was him, I would have spent all 700 years cracking Monster Girl for the love of the game. Actually, more like 600, but you get the point. Shout out to Best Tiger though. Pulled up on Robot in his own crib, and he ended up escaping too. Go to activities. This nigga Robot is a real freak, dude. Kissing the male version of Monster Girl on the lips too. And on top of that, he crying on the floor like this wasn't all his fault. Bro acting like a victim. Some of the other heroes were able to escape, like Britt. I don't remember this guy, but good God. I don't know what it is with comic artists making children look like Funko Pops, but this is genuinely hilarious. He looked like a 40-year-old in a 10-year-old's body. Still not as bad as this monstrosity though. Immortal and Duplicate were also able to escape as well, unfortunately. But there's one more threat that Rudy has to take care of. The Viltrumites. Now, he knew that they could easily wipe the floor with them if they so pleased, but he also knew that they weren't in the position to do so. Not only would they lose more of their ranks, they would never get that real chance to reproduce. So he suggests a compromise. Robot is really a multitasking demon. This dude was cooking Immortal's family, building a whole lab for his robots, making truces with the Viltrumites, and chatting with the president. And speaking of which, who is bro feeling like? Entire country going to shit, and he got his feet on the table like he's the man. Boy, slow down. Didn't even get a chance to talk before Mark pulled up on that timing. His last panel before this is still one of my favorites in the entire comics. Eve told her man to lock in, and he said yes ma'am. just like me when a bad bitch told me to do something. But I guess you can imagine the shock and horror Mark felt when nobody was running Robot's fade. Anissa was more interested in touching him than getting active. That's how he knew it was cooked. Robot is really lucky, no, blessed, that Thrag wasn't here for this BS. Y'all remember how badly he wanted to slime out the Fraudians of the globe the last time they tried BS like this? If Rudy tried this against him, Thrag is turning him into an accessory on some Battle Beast timing. But at the end of the day, Nolan is an emperor and his people come first. And also at the end of the day, Robot is actually doing a lot of good. Yeah, he's a dictator and Loki a bitch too, but he's been making the world a better place. If things change, they can react then, but only then. For now, they keep the peace. But Mark was not having it. And I can't even be mad at him for this. Robot contributed to him having one of the worst days ever. I'd want him gone too. All he needed was that Eve cosign. He was out of there. But yeah, this was not meant to be. Mark keeps thinking that this shit is season 3. Bro tried walking into the Pentagon like this was old time. It's a whole lot different trying the all-knowing Black Air Force's robot demon than trying the 70-year-old aging white man with 3 skin diseases. Robot lil bro'd him like crazy. And this is one of the toughest panels in Invincible period. I really do think that Rudy a bitch, but he does be putting that shit on. Peep the little head tilts on the robot on the left. They're programmed to aura farm for real. Hands in his pockets. He told Mark to stand down. In Rudy's eyes, what he's doing right now is no different than what Mark and Dinosaurus were doing. Video on that sometime soon, by the way. But the difference is, Mark and Dinosaurus failed. And I know he's not trying, but Rudy was genuinely rage baiting here, saying some, I've killed far fewer people than your father or Dinosaurus, but you still view me differently. Was it because I stranded you in another dimension? Mutilated your girl? Would an apology work? He rolled his eyes, bruh. He's not real. But in the end, Mark had no choice but to accept defeat. All the other heroes who opposed Rudy were in jail, and his own people didn't feel like doing anything. So what was he supposed to do? And the crazy thing is, Rudy was actually improving the world. He ended all wars, discovered tax loopholes to make state colleges free, made healthcare universal, crime rate dropped to 0, poor Titan, and he ended the war on drugs. This right here is how I knew this whole entire thing was fictional. The US government would never willingly do this. He even liberated North Korea, although they don't look too happy about it, and expanded the space program. All Mark could do was facepalm. What pissed me off the most though was how this dude showed up to the funerals of the people he killed, especially my colored king, Black Samson. Robot, I'm watching your stream right now. Why you trying not to laugh, bruh? Sliding out an innocent old man for no reason. At least he didn't show up for Cecil's. Real sad that only 2 people showed up. All the good he did for the world, and he still died alone. This was probably the most efficient world takeover I've ever seen. Minimal casualties, took it over in under 48 hours, improved everything in less than a week. And universal healthcare? That's a feat in itself. Did he need to kill everyone though? No. Is his ego now higher than Snoop Dogg on Easter Sunday? Yes, but we'll get into that next time. Before we end it off though, I deeply apologize for posting a grand total of 2 videos last month. That's actually insane. I'm sorry. And to make up for that, we dropping 4 videos this week. Absolute Batman 11 in a couple days. Then I'm dropping 12 2 days after that, and I'll probably get some more Invincible next weekend. So yeah, I got y'all. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all soon.